Well, if you've been watching, you may have noticed one among us in studio is not currently here. Drew Carney traded his spot here in the Sunrise studio for an early morning road trip to Dayton.
He is live at Heiser Farms Pumpkin Patch to check out its pumpkin cannons and what's known as the Grand Island Railroad. Hey, good morning, Drew.
Hey, good morning, Brenda and Christine. We'll check out that railroad here before our time is through, but right now we are going to zero in on those pumpkin cannons you mentioned. That one that Eric is focused on is known as the Duck Hunter. Yes, the Duck Hunter. Behind me, Rosie the Riveter. And before we go any further, I want to let you know all about the pumpkin patch they have out here at Heiser Farms in Dayton. So every weekend this month you can check it out. Saturdays and Sundays, the hours are 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. There is a lot going on here in addition to the pumpkin cannons, and we'll cover that here in a moment. But we wanted to make sure you saw the days, the hours, and the website. For more information, you can go to their website for all the ticketing info, directions, all of that good stuff. All right, let's make our way over now to John Heiser. I noticed, man, when we first came on this morning, right at 5 o'clock, it was raining hard, the winds were blowing, but it has sort of let up. Maybe in honor of our visit here to Dayton. This man used to walk around town as Dr. John. And once a doctor, always a doctor, but now that he's in retirement, he's going by Farmer John. I promised our viewers you would share some of the details on what happens during your pumpkin patch besides the cannons we're about to watch.
Yeah, so usual pumpkin patch stuff, hay maze, corn maze, hay ride out to the pumpkin patch. We also have a little miniature train, fire engine rides, petting zoo, several food vendors, beer garden with a big screen TV so you can watch football while you're out here.
A lot going on is the bottom line.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, next to John and I, we see Zach Williams. He is manning the pumpkin cannon known as Marvin. And we're going to set Marvin off here in just a moment, but it brings up another point. This weekend and this weekend only, I mean, you always have the cannons here, but this weekend only, you're doing what's known as the Pumpkin Cannon Demolition Derby. What is that all about?
So we bring out cars that are headed to the scrap heap, still in pretty good shape, and we shoot at them until they are shredded.
I mean, their bodies are in decent shape.
Yeah.
They're not operable anymore, though.
No, they're going to the scrap heap one way or the other. We just soften them up a little bit.
I'm going to have more with Farmer John here as we move through the morning, but let's come over here to Marvin. So down the way, we have two of those cars that John just mentioned that we will pulverize with pumpkins here before the morning is through. Before we get to that, we have those barrels set up behind the car. Now the wind, I'm telling you, the wind earlier this morning was so strong, it was knocking those barrels down on its own, but there are a few left standing. What do you think, Zach? Can we knock them over?
We're going to give it our best.
All right, we're going to try to knock over the remaining barrels this morning as Eric, our photographer and friend, gets into position to see Marvin and the barrels. Fire when ready, Zach. Oh, yeah, you took one down. You got one. Were you going for one or two?
The pumpkin blew up.
The pumpkin broke. Sometimes you got to take care of the work for the pumpkin on your own. Brenda, Christine, Rodney Hill. We will have more from Heiser Farms in Dayton coming up here a little bit later this morning. Let me get up here and tell you.
Oh my God.
You got to do the work yourself when the cannons don't do the work for you.
That's good.
And if you're wondering if that hurt, yeah, it did
Fire,
a little bit.
Zach! Fire! Zach, fire!
No, Rodney. Bad Rodney. Bad Rodney.
Come on,
I hear
Rod.
him squishing through the grass.
I
Mud
know.
and pumpkin cannons.
I know.
That's my kind of combination.
Oh, he's got
Thank
that.
you. I'm telling you, Drew is amped up this morning.
Yes.
He's out of the studio and is on a tear. He is checking out one of the area's most popular spots to pick pumpkins.
Yeah.
I was going to say pumpkins.
Pumpkins, that too. It's a spot that's also known for its pumpkin cannons, or pumpkin cannons. We're talking about Heiser Farms in Dayton. Morning, Drew.
Good morning, Christine and Brenda. It's also a spot that's a little wet this morning, but we're braving the rain because that's just who we are. And we're braving the wind because we are strong on this Wednesday, and we are checking out, despite the elements, all the fun that you can have out at Heiser Farms in Dayton. So real quickly, let me share the information. It is in Dayton. Hard to miss once you show up here in town. Weekends are the best days to check out the pumpkin patch because that's when they have all the activities cranked up. Saturdays and Sundays, you see the hours there on your screen, and you also see the website, the Heiser Farms website, where you can go for ticket information and all the details on all the activities they have out here the rest of the month. the big highlight, and we've been coming out here for years because of these, the pumpkin cannons. I've got Zach manning Marvin this morning, one of the 3 pumpkin cannons they have out here. I've got Farmer John on the other side of me this morning, standing in front of Rosie the Riveter. We talked about this earlier, but I think it's worth mentioning again. This weekend, and this weekend only, they have the Pumpkin Cannon Demolition Derby. A little different than the other weekends. How does that work?
So we have 12 cars ready to soften up on their way to the scrap heap, and we shoot at them every hour and a half, starting about 11 till 4:30, Saturday, Sunday.
So I should point out, if you can't get here this weekend, the cannons will be seen the rest of the month as well, but this is the only weekend where you have the cars out here to pummel.
Right, the rest of the month we shoot at the barrels, we shoot long shots, but this weekend is shooting cars.
Okay, so here's the deal. We got 3. We had the duck hunter earlier. You saw that on the far side. Renee is manning Rosie the Riveter. She's going to fire that off here in a second. But let's swing it back to Zach, because a couple of things going on here. Before you fire it off, Eric Patterson, my trusty photographer, has set up the Cannon Cam. So it's now set up in front of the cars that we were going to destroy with pumpkins this morning. There you see the second camera. Let's bring it out here though live to Zach, because Zach is the man. Can we go right through one of those cars right here, right now?
We could.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to let you do your thing. We've got 2 cameras to see the demolition. Fire when ready. Now wait a minute, Zach. If my eyes are not deceiving me, it looks like you went over car and hit barrel.
I did go over the car, but I hit the car a tiny bit on the roof, I think.
The referees and the umpires and all the officials didn't see it that way.
Replay.
All right, stand by. We have a whole 6 o'clock hour for you to redeem yourself again. But wait a minute. Renee is Zach's wife. She is operating Rosie the Riveter. Zach just whiffed a bit. Can you take out that car there down yonder?
I sure hope so.
Okay. All right. So here we are behind Renee. We can take that second camera again. Ready, aim, fire with Rosie. Oh, yes. That is a direct hit.
Yes.
Renee did what Zach could not. The power of Renee, the power of Rosie the Riveter. Wait, I'm going to step in front of the Cannon camera. Cannon cam, boom.
Oh my gosh, did that hurt?
Destruction on a Wednesday morning.
Okay.
You talking to me,
He's taking
Christine?
out his
I think so.
aggression.
I think so. Dang, Drew. And also, get it, Renee.
No.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Drew, who are you pretending that car is?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was a little
Let's
too
not
aggressive.
ask.
Oh, Rodney. I knew it. I knew there would be a Rod Hill tie.
Drew Carney traded his in-studio spot here on Sunrise today for an early morning road trip to Dayton.
He is live at Heiser Farms Pumpkin Patch. Good morning again, Drew.
Good morning again, Brenda and Christine. We have found a little cover, and man, the rain is really starting to come down now. So we are grateful that we are hanging out at what's known as the Grand Island Railroad here at Heiser Farms at their annual Pumpkin Patch. Real quickly, before we go any further, I'll bring you those Pumpkin Patch details. You can see the main days to come out here, really Saturdays and Sundays. The rest of the month, yes, you can come out and pick a pumpkin pick out a pumpkin during the week. But if you want to check out the pumpkin cannons that we saw earlier, if you want to check out the Grand Island Railroad, a lot of the big activities, the fire engine that you can ride, those are all available only on Saturdays and Sundays. You see the Heiser Farms website there on your screen. That's the place to go for more information, including directions and tickets. All right, back out live here this morning. This really is a fun part, and we will get back to those pumpkin cannons, I promise you. We're going to fire some more pumpkins at our targets in about 25 minutes or so. But I want to highlight the Grand Island Railroad and the brand new engine they have out here, the brand new train. You may recognize this guy. He goes by the name of Thomas. Or I heard a nickname this morning for the train. They're calling him Mr. T. Let me bring in another gentleman. He is Mike Baker. He is part of the volunteer group that runs the Grand Island Railroad out here on weekends. So tell me about this group and how the train rides work.
Okay, so we have 12 volunteers here. A good share of them are all veterans, Navy, Army, Air Force, and they volunteer their time to run the trains here. Thomas was built over the last 18 months by some friends of ours that are very high-tech people in China Lake, California, that do missile systems. So the gentleman that built this did a lot of the key work on the Sidewinder missile.
Geez Louise, so for missile making, to building a Thomas the Train for the Grand Island Railroad at Heiser Farms. Hey, can we get on board? We can continue talking, but we should probably do so in motion. I've got Mike with me. I've got John Heiser with me. Is that Clay?
This is Clay.
Is that your grandson?
Yes.
Grandson Clay is on. Can I operate the train?
Yes, obviously.
Should I let Clay do it or should I do it? Is it okay?
Clay can do it too. He's very good at
You
it.
think Clay can operate the train?
Clay can operate the
All right, we're going to take a risk here, Clay.
Let's go.
How old is Clay?
Clay's 4.
A 4-year-old is going to drive the rest of this segment. All right, so Clay and John will get on board. Mike and I will find a seat. Eric behind the camera will find a seat. I'm going to ride backwards, Eric, so you can still see my face. I'll remind our viewers again that Heiser Farms is open all the time. But the days you want to check it out, Saturdays and Sundays, that's when you can find the pumpkin cannons and the trains out here. How are we doing up there, John? All right, and we're off on this Wednesday morning. How much time do I have left in this segment? Can I ask our producer, Alex?
Oh, they're moving. Yeah.
Oh, we only have 15 seconds. By golly. But you heard the story. To me, I thought they picked up that Thomas train, the locomotive, like in a store. I thought they just bought it off some kind of website. But in fact, it was built from scratch, gang. And they did it all by hand, and it looks like the real deal. And we are having fun out here at Heiser Farms this morning. We'll have more coming up at 6:45 when we re-engage the pumpkin cannons here on Sunrise.
Ooh,
hey,
love
nice
that.
job, Clay.
Yeah, Clay is adorable.
Right?
Well done. Well, Drew is out of the studio this morning checking out one of the area's most popular spots to pick pumpkins.
Yeah, and as we've seen really all morning long, it is a spot known for those huge pumpkin cannons. We're talking about Heiser Farms in Dayton. Morning, Drew.
Yes, Heiser's Pumpkin Patch is where we are this morning. Zach is behind me on board this truck that's holding one of the cannons, and Zach just yelled something to me. I couldn't hear it at first, and then I heard. He said, "It's raining." Yeah, it is. I'm getting rid of the hood. The hood serves no purpose any longer. I'm soaking wet anyway, so what is the difference, I ask? It's windy, it's rainy, and yet we still smile on this Wednesday because we are having a blast, literally, at Heiser Farms, checking out their pumpkin cannons. So we're going to see the one known as the Duck Hunter here in a moment. Not yet. Let me first let our viewers know about the hours and the days to check this place out. I mean, you can come during the week to pick out a pumpkin, but the best days to check out all the activities, from the fire engine rides to the train rides to the pumpkin cannons. Come out here on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. You see the hours. The website's up there as well for more information. You can go to heiserfarms.com for tickets and for directions and all that good stuff. Okay, let me step over here now, back out live to John Heiser. Used to be a doctor. Then he retired and became a farmer. And he's running this great operation out here. This morning he's helped out by Clay, his 4-year-old grandson. And I just want to point out real quickly that when people come out here on the weekends, the cannons are a blast to watch, but there's also a purpose here. You can raise some money for a great organization through the cannons. Can you explain how that works, John?
Yeah, so October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we have a pink tractor that people take pictures on. We sell t-shirts that benefit a local organization called With Courage. And you can also buy a ticket to shoot any of the cannons for $10, and all of that money gets donated to that organization.
Can I borrow that shirt? Yeah. Hey, Clay, your face is getting wet. I'm gonna help you out. Oh, now you're protected from the rain, my friend, okay? Peekaboo. Clay's back, look at the camera. All right, let's get down to some nitty-gritty fun now. We're gonna fire off our cannons. We also have a Canon camera set up to show you the destruction that we are doing to those cars. Now, please keep in mind, because I hear about this every year, we're not destroying cars that are still operational. These cars can no longer run on the road. They're headed to the junkyard, headed to the scrap heap, but before they go there, we're gonna have some fun with them. All right, Zach is on board the Duck Hunter. Zach, when you're ready, fire that bad boy. Ready, aim, and there we go. I think we hit the lower passenger side wheel there. I think you were going for something a little higher, but we still made a hit this morning. Renee's been great on her cannon all morning. This is Rosie the Riveter. Renee's gonna fire this one off. We'll put that Canon camera into place, and as I say, ready, aim, and fire. Oh my goodness gracious! Once again, what Zach could not do, Renee came in and was able to do, finishing off the job. And then last but not least, follow me over here, Eric Patterson. We've got Dr. John and Clay again, and they've got Marvin. One more hit on those cars. Ready, aim, fire! Oh yes, back end, direct hit. And I know we've got to be out of time, but can I please show that picture? Do we still have the picture available? Do we? My friends, as I stand here getting poured on, that was a look at one of the cars before the morning started. It didn't look too bad. And now we take our Canon camera, we can see that car has been all but demolished by our pumpkin cannons. Out of time. Wish we had more time. Love standing in the rain telling you all about this, gang, but we are out of time as I send it back to you.